Oh man, that is fast. This is exactly the problem we have in your neighborhood. Do you have speeders in your neighborhood? We definitely have a problem down this street. People are going up to 50 miles an hour, and I'll tell you why I know that. But you can see people are just flying through here. This is like, must be an Autobahn cut through, you know? So we get all these complaints down the street. There are a lot of residents that live just in this neighborhood, over 300 homes. And I think having this main corridor of speeders is a problem. Here, let me take you how I solve it. And oh, by the way, I am the councilman here. So this is a city angle. And the first thing we did was install new signs. There were actually no signs here that read 25 mile an hour. So, well, maybe people were just picking their speed. So we don't want them to pick their speed. We kind of want to tell them their speed because this is a residential area. We want you to drive like your kids live here. So we want you to drive 25 miles an hour or slower. So this is definitely it here. But what we did was a new sign and the caution tape on it. So that really drew out some attention. There's another one over there, and there's a third one further down. So we really tried to drive some attention on that. One other thing we did here as a councilman is we can talk to the police department. And so what we did was a special attention for the police to come here, sit on their motorcycles, and actually radar the cars coming down. When you were speeding, you were pulled over. And I really just told them to warn the residents because I didn't want everybody to get a citation coming down here, being surprised. But it's always officer discretion. My thought is like, let's bring that awareness in there. So the cops sat here for multiple days and pulling people over, talking to them, realizing, hey, look, we have a speeding problem in this neighborhood. And my thought is we need to fix that. So what we did, put that motorcycle cop there multiple times, changed the sign here, and definitely, you know, kind of went from there. And, you know, I think it basically solved that issue, but of course there's always people speeding. So there's always gonna be a couple cars a day, but you know what? I think there was 100 cars a day. Now we're down to maybe 2 speeders a day, but either way, we're still trying to curb that issue of speeders. And even some of our residents here are elderly. We have kids, we have dogs, we have everything. So the reason to just slow it down, drive like your kids live here is an important thing to do. And so that's more talking about you know, council and as the speeding problem we see here. So like, that's just one thing. You know, somebody else might call me though, because if you see right here, this is a tree lawn, this is public property, and they had a tree on the tree lawn. So what they did here was had the tree down and the stump sat there forever. So they called me as the councilman and said, hey Rob, I still have a stump there. I need it ground down and fixed. So what I did, even as early as, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, we just had that thing ground down and cleaned up. So that's kind of what a city service does. I think there's more. So I want to take you actually as a walk through the street, and I'm gonna give you a little bit more, because like this sign right here, this is brand new. So like this didn't exist and we had this parking issue. So this sign was put up brand new just earlier this year. So it gives you an idea, like any street signs that need to be replaced, that sign need to be replaced, is something we definitely do. So I think as a councilman, people don't realize that we do all these things. You know, like speeders are just one thing. But what about signage? What about trees? What about tree lawns? Trees to be trimmed, cleaned up. So why I'm walking the street here is really to explain what else we really do. And I think just in a 500-foot walk here, we could definitely figure this out. You can see how these trees are on the tree lawn, but just about hitting me. We can trim these up as a city service too. We have a full tree department. So the tree service company, or the tree service employees, actually come here, trim trees, take down trees, and just remove unsafe things within the city. But remember, they focus on the city property. So like they will only touch that tree lawn tree. They will not do one in a public or in a private area. So what I'm gonna do is take you over to here, because I'm gonna show you what one of my #1 complaints are, is we get out of the road at these speeders. You know, you just never know, we might get run over. So we gotta move sometimes real quick. So you never know. All right, so we dodged that one. All right, so anyway, this is a big complaint right here. What we're gonna zoom in on is basically look at this elevation change in a sidewalk. People complain to me every week about this. Of course, I live right in this neighborhood, so like I'm walking with my stroller and it's a problem. Yeah, we hit that. But that is a building code violation, and people complain about these things all the time. So unsafe. This is a trip hazard. You can see how big of a gap that is. You're not allowed to have that. You are responsible to fix your sidewalk. Actually, you can see this sidewalk has a couple other issues in it too. You are responsible for this sidewalk as a homeowner, but it's actually city property. So you'll get a permit to actually fix it. They'll inspect it, make sure it's good. But again, I'm getting these complaints all around the city. So it's very good to know, like, hey, why do you call your councilman? Well, you know what, we can fix the trees in the tree lawn. We can have sidewalks issued, you know, to be fixed. So basically what we do is the city inspector comes out and gives a citation to the homeowner to say, hey, look, please just fix your sidewalk. I got to zigzag back across the street because we have one more thing to show you of why you call councilman. Remember, look both ways because, I mean, there are a lot of speeders around here. So as I told you earlier here. So this will be one overview here. Like, people complain about broken sidewalk or get cited for like a broken apron like this. This is a big issue around the city. There are lots, like this is a violation. You could get a citation for this. This is, you could see this is all cracked up. Like, these are public right-of-ways, and you know, you really can't have that kind of broken up sidewalk. One other major one would be something like this. So again, it's in the city right away. You could kind of see how there's such a big gap in this and elevation change. So this would be a violation. You could kind of see how it's all cracked up. And I mean, this is what people call me about. Hey, look, I walked my neighborhood and this is an issue. So I think I've got one more here, and it has to do with this trash can. This is another one. People call every week because people do not put their trash can back into their house at the end of the day, and I think that's a huge complaint around the city here. So people have, you know, have to take their can in that night of cleanup. You know, they're not allowed to leave it there for the next day. So we do get that complaint just about every week. Somebody is saying something about, hey, my neighbor just leaves his trash out, or they put something out too big and it never gets picked up. So that's the overview here. You know, so you think about a councilman as really like a legislator, and you make laws, but really all you do is slow down speeders, take out stumps, trim trees, take complaints about concrete work, and tell people to bring their trash can in. So what a difference in what you think a councilman does and what we actually do on a daily basis is such a big drastic thing. So that's why I'm here sharing it and letting people know, and kind of like just giving this overview here. So that's the life of a councilman in the city of Parma here, where we are Ward 9 in the city of Parma, and we're the councilman in year 3 and taking complaints. So if you have any comment, put it in here. Tell me what you want to see or what you want to know about or anything. You know, hey, Rob, I want to see this video. I want to see, what do you do? How do you solve this problem? Like, that's what I want to hear from you. So leave something for me, and we could solve a problem from there.